planned vocabulary or the emergent language. If you are teaching adults, of course, you work a lot on emergent language. But if you are a teacher of kids, probably you don't work with it as much as possible. And I've got a question for you here. For example, this is the book Super Safari 3 by Cambridge, and it is supposed to be for kids of 6 or 7 years old. And the topic toys covers the following vocab: teddy bear, rope, doll, kite, ball, play. Do you think children of 6 or 7 years old now play with all these toys? Depends, but some of my students didn't know what the rope is. They didn't have a chance to play with it at all. And when we talk about kids, and when we talk about toys with kids, they come up with some things I didn't have a slightest idea about. So do you know what this is called in any language? I didn't before my students brought it into the class. It's called a screecher. It's something in between a transformer and a robot. What about this one? Some kind of unicorn. And I've got this wonderful girl in my online group who pronounces its name as a tongue twister: Rarity Rainbow Butterfly Unicorn. Are you able to do it right now? So you can just stop the video and try to do it. Rarity Rainbow Butterfly Unicorn. So all my students have learned the name and have practiced their pronunciation when one of my students brought it into the classroom. And this you definitely know. So what I choose in my case is letting students bring things from their real context and let their peers learn about their peers' context as well. It's really interesting, more than the average students. The book, the course book usually focus on some average students, which I don't have in my classroom. And no matter how old your students are, they do bring personal stories into the classroom, and a lot of emergent language comes out. When I was teaching an adult student who was elementary, and we started talking about past tense, and we came across the word was, she burst into tears. I didn't understand what was happening, and it came out that her father had passed away 3 years ago, and she wasn't able to admit it. She said, Tatiana, by that moment, I was telling you that I have a father, but in reality, I don't. He passed away 3 years ago. So she burst into tears. At that very lesson, a lot of emergent language came out. She got a lot of support words and phrases she learned at that particular lesson. So my choice is obvious. I choose to be more a human than a teacher in some cases and focus on my students' real needs and context.